Hi everyone, welcome back. Yesterday we had some really exciting chapters because Juniper woke up and Bear was missing. So let's find out what happens next. Chapter 40. I'm not in the tent, but outside it, curled at the mouth of the sleeping bag, even though I don't remember lying down at all. There's a faint beam of early sun and the lynx is standing a few metres away, the black tufts on her ears up like antennae. Her head's turned to one side. She's listening. I want to yell Bear's name, make him hear me, but all day yesterday I called and there was nothing. Today I have to try something else. I leave the note in the middle of the clearing and I follow her. The cat knows where to go. I see it, not just in her ears and her glassy, unblinking eyes. It's in the alignment of her muscles. She's lowered her body to mirror the ground and her legs stretch out slowly, deliberately, one after another. Maybe she's just following some rabbit or hare, but I follow her everywhere anyway. And every so often, a noise sounds out into the forest. Something sharp and heavy and rhythmic. Thwack, thwack. It stops, but the cat keeps moving in the direction the noise came from. Sometimes she's slow, sometimes she bounds forward, quick like the rabbits do. Maybe she has caught the scent of one. Every so often, the noise starts up again. Thwack, thwack, thwack. I've no idea what it is, but I know from Ghost to be quiet. Today, everything's just clearer. The tangle of roots and branches, I can see better where I fit between them. The spaces I can pass through, the unseen paths. Ghost goes first and I follow after. I'm in her slipstream. At some point she stops. It's misty and still only half light, and when I first see it, it's not real at all. It's like a mirage. A deer. A stag, I think, because of its size and its antlers, high above its head like some woodland crown. Ghost steps back, wary, even though that's the wrong way round. Deer are her prey. Lynx catch deer. Yet this one's out of her league. Even I can see that. For a while, everything stops, and then the stag lets out this low noise, this groaning moan, or bellow or belch from deep inside, and he's off onto some other adventure. It's absolute madness, but I'm desperate. I take it as a sign that we're going in the right way. Maybe it was the stag that led Bear away. He couldn't have helped himself, following something that beautiful. The lynx and we carry on moving until she stops at the edge of another clearing. There's a stone building, some old barn or cabin or cottage, with a loop of smoke curling out from the chimney and a pile of broken logs outside stacked in a little shed. The woodcutter's house. There are two figures standing in the doorway, one big, one little. I hurl myself forward. Bear! He should be running to me, but he's holding the hand of the taller person, his hand in hers. Hers because it's a woman, not a man, with an axe. She's in a long dark coat and is leaning over him protectively. Bear! The woman lets go of Bear's hand, propels him to me, and I catch him as he falls into my arms, warm and solid and scared. Bear, I found you! We've been waiting for you to show up, the woman says, and I want to hug her too, because she's here, so much more miraculous than that stag. A person, a woman, out in the wild wood where I'd started to doubt anyone else could be. I don't mean to stare, but I can't stop myself. Her hair's silver, like Annie Rose's, except this woman's hangs down over her face, matted with leaves and dirt. Her skin's thick and tight like leather, and she has small, sharp eyes. I think of the fox in the Emporium. I wanted to look for you. I wanted to come back, Bear's saying breathlessly, pulling at me, tugging at my sleeve to bring me lower, taking both my hands in his. Juniper. But it was too dark, wasn't it, when I found you last night? The woman says kindly to Bear. Didn't it happen just like I told you it would? That we'd light the fire first thing this morning and your sister would come, like a moth to a flame. Our signal worked. She's beaming at me. I don't say that it wasn't the smoke, that it was our lynx cat. Ghosts disappeared anyway. I look around the line of the trees, but she's already gone. I found your brother as the light was falling, wandering around, sobbing his heart right out, without his coat as well. Thank you for finding him. The words fall out of me. The woman's laugh is shrill. He made it easy, the volume he was crying at. I shake my head, confused. I didn't hear anything. I was calling. The woman smiles. Sounds are funny out here. The wind takes them away. Sounds can disappear, just like people can. I thought I wouldn't ever find him. My voice is breaking as the woman cuts in. I must sound pretty crazy. I've got boiling water on the fire. I can make you a hot drink and something to eat. I've not been able to get your brother to accept anything. Bear, I say, astonished, my relief coming out in a burst. That's not like you. You must be famished. Bear shakes his head furiously. Well, I am, I say enthusiastically to make up for his reticence. We should keep the woman on side. She could help us. Bear tugs at my sleeve again. Ju, our journey. We need to rest, Bear, and eat. We can eat as we walk. We've barely got anything left. You know that. You've told me enough times. The woman's still smiling her bright smile. Ju, Bear says. His shoulders are all high and tight, like they always were at school. He's never been good with other people, only us and Etienne. But this woman found him. She kept him safe. And she seems so delighted to have us here. She can't see many people. I'm still reeling over the fact she's here at all. Juniper, let's go, please, Bear hisses, still trying to pull me away. The woman's smile fades. It's obvious Bear doesn't like her. Bear, I say, crossly pulling myself loose of him. You ran off. I spent the whole day yesterday searching for you, thinking all kinds of things. I'm hungry and tired, even if you're not. Bear hangs his head and kicks his foot into the floor. Come on in then, says the woman, as though it's settled, and she ushers us both into the cottage before her. Chapter 41. There's an old stone fireplace, and the fire's burning full pelt in the iron gate, and I'm drawn to it, to the warmth and the flickering flames. There's a strange smell I don't recognise, but that tugs at my stomach. The cottage windows are small, closed. Some are boarded up. I didn't notice from the outside. At one of the windows, a fat blue fly is slamming itself against the dirty pane. A blue bottle, Bear would say if he was talking normally. The woman catches me looking. There's no point cleaning them, not out here. Her voice is defensive. No, of course, I say, quickly smiling in case she thinks I'm disapproving. It's not what you're used to in your shining city. I shake my head because that's not what I meant. I'm not bothered about dirty windows. You live by yourself? I ask, changing the subject. The woman nods, and I see her teeth through her smile, all brown and yellow. I'll make tea. There's an old sofa by the fire, and I sink into it. I can't help it. I pull Bear down too. Bear, what's up with you? I don't want a cup of tea, he grunts. I'll make one for him anyway. Then I'll sort out food. I'll have to pop out to find something. A rabbit, the woman says, triumphant like she's just solved a problem. I'll get you a rabbit. You don't need to go to any trouble, I say, and my eyes can't help go to the table where there are dead animals laid out in a row, rabbits and birds. That's what the smell is. And that's where the bigger buzz of flies is coming from. I can see them now, crawling over the carcasses. The woman's watching me. I don't bother so much for myself, but you two don't look like you're used to being out here. Your stomachs won't be as strong as mine. You'd better start with fresh. She goes over to the kitchen area to make the tea, still beaming every time she looks back at us, even though Bear's silent and sullen beside me. It's sort of surprising she doesn't ask more questions. We must be as miraculous to her as she is to us. though it doesn't seem like that. She just seems pleased. Like we're neighbours who've dropped by to drink tea with her. "Why are you here? Who are you?" I ask in a sudden rush as the woman returns with 2 mugs of steaming liquid. "Violet." She places one of the mugs into my hand. "Violet," I repeat, and I smile at her. "What tea is it?" "It's a kind of root. I can show you later. Drink now." I take a sip, even though the rim of the mug is grimy. The tea's sweet and strange. I smile again at Violet's expectant face. "How long have you lived here?" She pulls a strange face. Maybe I'm being rude, asking too much. But then she smiles again. "A long time. Too long. But now it's your turn. I'm curious. Where are you running off to?" "Nowhere, really," I shrug. There's something about running off that irritates me, and Bear's hand is in mine now. He's digging his nails into the flesh of my palm. "You must have somewhere in mind," Violet says, bidding me to drink more of the strange tea. I shake my head as I drink. Just away from the city. "Why would you want to do that?" She's still smiling brightly, in a way that makes me wonder why she's not tired already of looking happy. Bear's fingernails dig in tighter, and I glare at him. "We just had to get away. It wasn't safe for us." I pause, not sure how to say it. "Maybe the city isn't how you remember it." If the woman picks up on what I'm saying, she ignores it. "Drink up, both of you. I'll go out and see about that rabbit." She picks up a worn black satchel from the table as she leaves and takes a gun from the wall beside the fireplace. A hunter's wall, full of guns and knives, weaponry. "It's an air rifle?" I ask, unable to take my eyes off the gun, watching her as she snaps it right open and takes a silver bullet from a bowl on the table. She places the little pellet in the centre of the rifle and then snaps it back straight. The woman nods. "It'll do for a rabbit. You both look like you could do with some feeding up." She smiles at me again. "It can't have been easy. You've done well to get this far." Tears prick at my eyes, and Violet winks at me and pockets a handful of the silver pellets. "I'll put the catch on the door so you don't lose the boy again. Get some rest, Juniper Green. You look like you need it." The door clicks behind her. Chapter 42. "Are you not talking to me, Bear?" I ask once Violet's gone. The cottage is all crackling flames, and I lean back into the softness of the sofa. Bear screws up his face and then unscrews it right away. "We need to get out of here." "We need to eat, Bear," I say, frustrated, "and get warm. She can help us." "She won't help us, Ju." "She's out now, isn't she? Getting food, a rabbit. It's more than we've managed." "Ju, we have to go before she gets back." Bear's pacing the rug, not stepping off it, but looking round at the dead animals on the table and the fly that's still banging against the pane. He points to the knives and guns. "She's bad, Ju." I shrug. "They're just the things you need out here. We could learn from her. All those guns. Surely she could spare one. And look at this fire compared to ours. I'm properly warm for the first time since we left, Bear. She's the first person we've come across. The only one. We need help." "I don't want her help." I glare at him. "Yeah, well, maybe we need it. I can't do everything. I can't do it alone." Bear looks shocked. "You're not alone. There's me and Ghost." "You're 6 years old, Bear, and a wild cat isn't going to feed us. It won't show us the way to Ennerdale." "Ju," he cries, "don't say that. It's secret. The woman might be listening." I roll my eyes. Violet's gone hunting, Bear, for our breakfast. There's something funny about her. Strange. I give him a disapproving look. "She's just a bit unkempt," I say. "People used to say that about you back in the city." Bear sticks out his tongue. "It's not that. Look, she's survived out here. All this time. She knows the land. She knows what to eat. She knows how to stay alive, Bear. She's properly wild." Not all wild is good. I can't help smile at him using my own words against me. Let's at least let her feed us. There are things I want to ask her. Not about where we're going, Ju. You can't. You mustn't. There's proper fear in his voice. I won't say the name. I'll just ask her if she's heard of any place like that. Why? I shake my head. How can I tell him what's in my head? That since we got out here, since we saw how abandoned everything is, I can't stop thinking about it, about Ennerdale. What if it's just not there anymore? Ju, please. Bear comes up to me and tugs at my hands again. She was different before you showed up. What do you mean? What she said about being worried about me. She wasn't, Ju. She really wasn't. She was mean. She kept prodding me, asking where you were. Because she wanted to find me, Bear, for your sake. You're 6 years old, out here alone. You must have been a shock to her. But she didn't look shocked, Ju. It was like she was looking for me, hunting me. Bear, I exclaim, exasperated. She doesn't hunt people. She hunts animals, rabbits. I spent almost 24 hours straight looking for you. I'm exhausted. Please, Bear. He finally shuts up, and I slump back on the sofa, gazing at the fire, at the dancing flames, hypnotised by them. Bear's still pacing, and I let him. I did enough of that last night. I'm dozing off, dreaming about the palm house, this one plant we have, a century plant. It was an agave that Annie Rose said bloomed once in its entire life. 30 years of nothing but leaves, and then it would send up this huge great shoot with a flower on the end. Only the flower took all the energy the plant had because right after it wilted and died. I didn't tell her our name was Green. What? I say vacantly. I didn't tell her our name was Green, Juniper. Bear's voice floats into my palm house dream. He's more certain now, louder. I didn't tell her our surname. I might have said Juniper when I was upset, or she might have heard me calling for you because I called you all yesterday, but I didn't say Green. I didn't, Ju. I sit bolt upright. You get some rest, Juniper Green. That's what Violet said as she went out. I put my hands on Bear's shoulders. When she was asking who you were, where you were from, it didn't slip out? You're certain about that? I'm shaking him. It's too rough, but I'm shaking him anyway because I have to know. No, Bear snaps. I told you she wasn't even nice to me. We didn't talk. Not like that. She just kept asking about you, where you were, trying to get me to remember. I didn't tell her anything about anything, Juniper. I wouldn't. I told you that. Only you didn't listen. I look at him, horror curdling in my stomach. Why would she know our surname, Juniper? But there's no time to answer. I'm already throwing open the cupboards, turning over boxes. Everything's mostly empty, so I move to the bedroom, the little alcove off the main room behind a pink curtain, which throws up a grey cloud of dust when I rip it aside. There's barely anything here either, except the bed with dirty sheets and an open wardrobe full of stale, crumpled clothes, most of which aren't even hanging. They've fallen to the floor. There are no books, no pictures on the walls, no sign of that this woman does anything except hunt. That's what the whole cottage smells of. Dead things. I slump down in a chair in front of a small table. There's an ornate oval mirror, dusty with red velvet curtains either side. I've seen ones like it in the Emporium. It's a dressing table, and the mirrors were always in 3 sections, the main one and a smaller one on either side, like its wings. I tear back the curtains, but it's just my own reflection, staring back at me 3 ways in the dusty mirrors. My eyes hollowed out in my face, my skin smeared with dirt. I look sick, and I feel sick too. Sick and sleepy. The sweet, sticky tea, which Bear refused, swishes around my stomach. There's a hairbrush on the table. I've seen things like that in the Emporium. The cream oval base, the soft bristles. I used to think they were pretty, until Barney told me they were made from ivory, elephant tusk, and that the bristles came from horses. This one's carved with vines, and the bristles are full of the woman's hair. I trusted her because she was wild and a woman with silver hair like Annie Rose. I trusted her because I was scared and sad and starving, because Bear was too, and I haven't done any kind of job of looking after him so far. Juniper, Bear says, and I turn to him. He's dragged out the clothes from the bottom of the wardrobe and is holding up sheets of stapled together paper. He's staring at them, confused. The address? It's in our city, I think. I grab the papers from him. The date is in the top right-hand corner of the first sheet, like we were always taught at school. It's just 3 years back. And then the pages and pages, words in small black type. I don't read it properly, there isn't time, but the words I need reveal themselves to me. Reconnaissance, integrity of the mission, loyalty to the city. There's a name at the bottom of each sheet, like it's a contract, a signature, in elaborate calligraphy. Portia Steele. I remember Sylvan back in the Warren. To be her eyes and ears, only a few ever report back they're properly crazy. One of the sheets has numbers on it and other odd words, old words, frequencies, bandwidth, wavelengths. What does it mean, Ju? Bear asks, his nose puckered. I have to make myself think, fast, even though my brain's cloudy and slow. Can you see a radio? If she's working for Steele, if she knew about us, she must have a way of making contact with the city. A radio? Bear asks, confused. Why would he know that word? I only do because I spent so long poring over that old dictionary back in our kitchen. Radio, the use of electromagnetic waves for broadcasting two-way communications. Two-way communications. That's what Violet will be doing. She'll be letting the city know that she has us, has both of us. I walked myself right into her trap. It'll be a kind of box with an aerial, an antenna, like the drones have. Bear frowns. There was something like that before on the table. She was playing with it last night, turning some dials, talking to it like it was a person. But it just crackled. It was broken, I reckon. It's gone now. That must be what was in the satchel, I say with a heavy voice. She took it with her. Maybe there's somewhere she goes for better signal. Maybe she didn't dare leave Bear until she'd found me in case I broke in and rescued him, like I should have done if I had any sense at all, any of Bear's instincts. Juniper, Bear says helplessly. My eyes fix on his. He's waiting for me to do something. We need to get out of here, I say. She's locked the door. The windows, then. A gunshot sounds outside the cottage and I pull Bear after me back into the main room. Chapter 43. The moment the door opens, Bear and I throw ourselves outside. We don't give the woman time to stop us. She's got the gun in one hand and the black satchel she took with her is slung over her shoulder. Run, Bear, run! The trees. Get to the trees, we told each other. We're faster than her, smaller. We can hide. My feet are heavy on the ground, but the trees are getting closer. I'm almost there. Bear's scream stops me. He's fallen, and even as I turn back for him, she's caught him. She's pulling him up from the floor. I run towards her. No! She's got a silver blade in her right hand, and she's moving it to Bear's throat. No, no! I cry, my voice shaking. The woman's face is taut and focused, just like her voice. I'm protecting my interests. Get back inside, now. No, I say, even though my heart is pummeling out of my ribcage. There's a warrant for both of you. It's my civic duty. Portia Steele put out the call herself. No, I cry, we're not going back, not ever. I keep my eyes on the blade. It's dirty, encrusted with blood, but somehow still catching the light of the morning sun. Let him go. Inside, the woman hollers. If you send us back, they'll kill us, both of us. The woman shakes her head. They want our blood. They'll take yours too if they come out here. You don't know what the city's like now. I'm yelling at her, screaming, but I'm pleading with her too. Please, please, please. There are beads of sweat like dewdrops painted on Bear's face. The woman's moving her head from side to side wildly. I've been promised by Steele herself she'll let me back in exchange for you two. Why? I splutter. Why would you want to go back? The city's a prison. It's my home, the woman screeches. I didn't ask to be sent out here. You think I wanted my blood to show up positive? It means you can survive, and you have. You've survived here. I'm about the only one who did. You don't know what it's like. No soul to speak to except the voices in your own head. I'm not doing another winter out here. I can't. In the cottage, now. And what if I don't? Bear's properly sobbing now, the blades pressed against the soft skin of his neck. There's a madness in the woman's eyes. Now she's forgotten to smile, I can see it. I will do it, she says, pressing the blade harder, and I don't doubt for a moment that she will. I turn back to the cottage, and the woman turns too, to follow after me. But something comes from the woodshed, a leaping, hurling thing throwing itself against her. Our lynx cat, our ghost. Violet staggers, letting go of Bear as she hits the ground. Run, Bear, I call, even as I'm hauling him up off the floor. The woman's grabbing at my leg, her thick, calloused hand gripping tight around my ankles like a claw. I kick out. Don't you dare, she cries, incensed. I've been promised. You're my ticket back in. No, I scream, lashing out. She's scrabbling for the gun with her other hand, but the leather strap is tangled up with the satchel. I manage to move my leg up to her neck and start kicking, because she deserves it, because she would have used that knife on Bear. I know she would. Juniper, Bear's screaming out at me from the trees, calling my name. It's loud and out, and I'm terrified he'll come back, and I never even want him near that knife again. The woman lets go of my ankle to go for the rifle, but she's still splayed out beneath me. I lift my foot up and bring it right down onto her, right into her knee, my full weight right on her, and there's a sort of snap, like the air rifle made when she broke it back to insert the silver pellets. Then I'm off and running to the trees, the air rifle banging against my back as I run, the leather strap across my back. I'll get you both, the woman screams at me. And then the cottage door bangs in the wind. A moment later, a shot sounds after us. She must have gone back for another gun. I lurch forward to Bear, and the sweet tea pools on the forest floor at his feet. Bear looks terrified, but I pull him after me and we run on, zigzagging through the trees, because now the shots are really coming. And now we're at chapter 44. 44. I don't know why I keep saying 20. Chapter 44. Very exciting couple of chapters we've read there. And check back for the next few chapters to see what happens next. Bye, guys.